It was supposed to be just another public appearance. The cameras were flashing, the fans were screaming, and the lights were so bright that every move seemed magnified. But what happened between Dylan Wang and Shen Yue that night wasn't staged, wasn't rehearsed, it was real. And it all came down to one look. One look that said everything words could not. When Dylan and Shen Yue first appeared together on stage, the crowd already couldn't contain their excitement. These two had built a reputation not just as co-stars but as something more. An undeniable pairing that fans couldn't stop rooting for. From the beginning of their on-screen chemistry to the countless moments caught off camera, people have been convinced that there's more to their bond than meets the eye. And yet, they've always kept it quiet, professional, reserved, just enough distance to remind everyone they're just friends. But then it happened. As Shen Yue laughed, her soft, natural laugh that always seems to brighten a room, Dylan's eyes found her. And in that moment, the cameras captured what fans had been waiting for all along. The look, it wasn't just admiration. It wasn't just playful. It was deeper, stronger, almost protective. His eyes lingered on her, softer than the stage lights, more honest than any interview he's ever given. And when Shen Yue noticed, her smile grew brighter, almost as if she knew exactly what he was saying without saying anything at all. That single glance became the spark that sent the internet into a frenzy. Fans rushed to social media, replaying the clip over and over again. Some slowed it down frame by frame, analyzing the way Dylan's eyes shifted from the crowd straight to her, locking onto her as if no one else existed. Others pointed out the way Shen Yue's body language shifted. Her shoulders relaxed, her laughter turned bashful, and her gaze dipped toward the ground before daring to meet his again. The comments were instant and overwhelming. "You can't fake that look. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Forget acting. This is real love." And suddenly, what should have been a simple public event transformed into the most talked-about moment between Dylan Wang and Shen Yue in months. Why did this look strike such a chord? Maybe because we all recognize it. That unguarded way of looking at someone you care about. That gaze that's filled with 1,000 unspoken words. Admiration, respect, affection, and maybe even love. Dylan wasn't smiling for the cameras in that moment. He wasn't putting on a performance. He was simply looking at Shen Yue, and in doing so, he revealed more than any press release or interview ever could. It was the kind of look that stops time, the kind that makes everyone around feel like they've just stumbled onto a secret. And in a way, they had. For years, fans of Dylan Wang and Shen Yue have speculated about the true nature of their relationship. Was it just friendship? Was it something deeper? Was their chemistry purely on screen? Or was it spilling into real life? This one look reignited all of those questions. Because no matter how hard celebrities try to maintain their privacy, moments like these break through. They remind us that behind the lights, behind the stage, behind the carefully crafted image, they are still two people who feel. And Dylan's look, so raw, so unfiltered, felt like a window into his heart. It wasn't just fans who noticed. Media outlets picked up on it too, replaying the clip in slow motion, dissecting it like it was the climax of a drama. Headlines appeared overnight. Dylan Wang's stolen glance sparks dating rumors again. Shen Yue's smile says it all. Everywhere you turned, people were talking about it. But what's most interesting is how Dylan and Shen Yue themselves responded. Neither of them addressed it directly. There was no denial, no attempt to explain. Instead, they carried on as if nothing had happened. Though sharp-eyed fans noticed the way Shen Yue seemed softer around him that evening, the way Dylan's protective gestures toward her seemed even more pronounced. As if, once the look was out there was no point in pretending anymore. Some fans described it as cinematic, a real-life drama playing out before our eyes. And maybe that's why it resonated so deeply, because it reminded us of every romance story we've ever loved. That exact second when one character looks at the other and the audience just knows. This is it. This is the moment that changes everything. And even though Dylan and Shen Yue never said a word, their eyes told the whole story. Others argued it was more than just romance. They saw in Dylan's look a sense of pride, of admiration for Shen Yue, not just as a woman, but as a person. Someone who had walked alongside him through their careers. Someone who had shared struggles, victories, laughter, and tears. It wasn't just about attraction. It was about connection. And that's why fans cried. Because what they saw in that glance wasn't just love. It was respect, partnership, and trust. The very foundations of something real. And let's be honest, this wasn't the first time Dylan and Shen Yue have shared moments that sparked speculation. From behind-the-scenes footage of playful banter to interviews where they can't seem to stop smiling at each other. Fans have been collecting evidence for years. But this felt different. Because it wasn't hidden behind a joke or brushed off as acting. It was raw, vulnerable, honest. It was Dylan Wang in front of thousands, letting his guard down for just a second. And Shen Yue responding with a smile that told us she felt it too. The internet couldn't stop replaying it. Some edits paired the look with romantic music. Others added captions like, "When your eyes betray your heart." Fans across the world shared it, each of them feeling like they had just been invited into the most intimate secret. Because sometimes, all it takes is one moment to convince the world of what you've known all along. That Dylan Wang and Shen Yue share something special. Something too strong to hide. In the end, maybe the truth doesn't even matter. Maybe they'll never confirm what fans want them to confirm. Maybe they'll continue to say they're just friends, just colleagues, just two actors who happen to work well together. But moments like these speak louder than any official statement ever could. Because eyes don't lie. And in that moment, Dylan's eyes told us everything. That's why fans are calling it unforgettable. That's why they're replaying it over and over again. That's why the clip has already cemented itself as one of the most iconic caught-off-guard celebrity moments of the year. Because deep down, we all long for that kind of connection. The kind that doesn't need words. The kind that's written in glances, in laughter, in silence. And when Dylan looked at Shen Yue, he showed us exactly what that looks like. It wasn't just a look. It was a confession. A confession without words, broadcasted under bright lights, and yet somehow meant only for her. And that's why fans can't stop talking about it. Because in that one look, Dylan Wang said everything.